is the best deal in town, and that's really all you care about. So Happy New Year to all of you. We hope that you and yours have a very prosperous new year. We know that Guam is going to have one. We've taken a look at the numbers, and they've got to be outstanding for the ensuing year. I don't know. I'm just kind of breathless when I think about what's going to happen in the coming year. So regardless of what anybody says, you come in to give us a crack at this, at your business in the new year, and we'll show you how to beat anything, anywhere, anytime. Thank you, Payless Markets. Thank you, all the people that helped us in the past year, and we love you, Guam.
This is the city of Baguio. It's called the summer capital of the Philippines, and it's here that thousands of tourists come each year, both foreign and local, to escape the heat of the lowlands and enjoy the scent of the pine trees and the cool mountain air. The city of Baguio is not only one of the most beautiful cities in the Philippines, it's the coolest. Baguio is a haven for summer travelers seeking refuge from the heat, traffic, and pollution of Manila and the lowlands. The city is not small by Guam standards. They have a population of approximately 120,000. Yet compared to hectic Manila, life here is slow. After the first breath of clean mountain air, nothing seems more important than walking around one of Baguio's many parks. The city is nestled in the Cordillera mountain range in northern Luzon, and it is known for its beautiful and spacious surroundings. The city was developed by Americans in the early 1900s and chartered as a city on September 1st, 1909. Baguio's layout is based on the development plan of Washington, D.C., and one of its parks is named Burnham, after an American man who designed the plan of the city. Besides wide-open parks, Baguio boasts winding roads and an abundance of flowers and pine trees, all offset by rugged mountain terrain, a sharp contrast with the rest of the Philippine countryside. Everyone who's anyone comes to Baguio. This mansion was once the home of American governor generals. Today it is the summer residence of Philippine presidents. Baguio is also a city of students. There are 6 colleges here, including the Philippine Military Academy. There are many sights to see in Baguio, but for sheer peace of mind and relaxation, Camp John Hay is the place to go. Open to the public, Camp John Hay offers tennis courts, a golf course, and uninhibited views. Camp John Hay is also of historical interest, for it is here that World War II both began and ended in the Philippines. The first bombs dropped on the Philippines hit this base, and it was also here that the Japanese signed surrender papers at the end of the war. We'll show you traditional weavers, wood carvers, and the famous Baguio market when we come back.
National Office Supply is your one-stop office supply headquarters on Guam. You know, they stock the largest selection of office equipment and supplies anywhere. You'll find the staff helpful and friendly, too, and you'll love the low prices at National Office Supply. If you're the type of person who demands convenience, National Office Supply offers free delivery. So for all of your office equipment and supply needs, come by or call National Office Supply, your one-stop office supply store on Guam.
For the best quality, best price, and best photo service on Guam, come to Guam Photo. They have 1-hour photo service, 1-day enlargements, 1-minute passport, and ID and visa photos with half-day black and white photo finish. Also available at low prices are studio portraits, proms, and school photos. And for any and all your photo needs, come and visit them at their new location in Tamuning, across from the FHP building or the Dedito branch behind Exxon.
Alam nyo, I had to undergo an emergency operation recently. Akala ko I had to go back to Guam under my health plan. Hindi pala. Salamat sa GMHP at dito ako sa Manila na-confine. Kahit pala sa Pinas ay meron ng most modern equipment and highly qualified US-trained doctors. At dahil malapit ang pamilya ko, napabilis ang recovery ko. Naituloy ko pa ang bakasyon. Talaga namang GMHP does not stop at giving its members the best.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it chicken right.
In Baguio, nothing is better than the market. Here you can find everything from flowers to fresh beef. The market is famous in the Philippines for its diverse and quality produce. Strawberry jam, fresh honey, tomatoes, lettuce, vegetables, and fresh fish are just a few of the items on display. In the marketplace, you can expect to bargain for a good price.
How about 5 pesos for one?
But if you're like me, you probably won't get it. Everybody in Baguio comes to this market, and for a few pesos, they get whatever they need, from fried bananas to garlic to balut. You can also get some kicks horseback riding in Baguio. $1 will buy you a half hour on the horse of your choice. So I decided to join all the other kids in the park. However, some riding lessons beforehand would have helped me stay in the saddle. One thing I noticed about Baguio was that people seemed to be happy here. It wasn't hard to find a smiling face or a happy-go-lucky attitude. Just like any other small city, teenagers can be found absorbed in the latest magazine, reading up on their favorite teen idol. Yet just a few steps away is a cornerstone of tradition. The Easter Weaving School was started decades ago by missionaries. Here, villagers use the same weaving methods as they have for centuries.
It was started, I think, in 1908 by the missionaries. The missionaries, I think, noticed that there are some inbuilt knowledge of these weavers, so they started with 8 weavers, improving, of course, their designs, because the Igorot weavers, they cannot read nor write, so they try to improve their way of weaving and their designs. Until, as the years went by, they started selling their products in the United States until it became this big.
Weaving is a village tradition, and many of these women have been doing it since they were children. The women use both upright and backstrap looms to weave their cloth.
The upright loom weaving, I think they do that also in the South Americas or even here in some parts of Asia. But the back loom, I think it is unique because that's only done here in the mountain provinces.
There are 68 weavers employed at the school. They are paid by the piece and create everything from traditional patterns to modern designs. It's not uncommon to see an older weaver with traditional tattoos weaving Christmas placemats.
Normally we allow them to do their own designs, and we encourage that. But we also follow some catalogs, and customers also give us some specifics of their designs, so we follow them. You just tell them and they just follow it.
Using colorful threads, the women weave brightly patterned cloth. It takes them approximately 6 days to complete one bolt. When that bolt of cloth is finished, it might end up anywhere in the world, as the Easter Weaving School is internationally known. In another part of Baguio is the woodcarver's village. Here, men and women carry on the family trade. And every member of the family is involved, from the oldest to the youngest. While teenaged girls sand down the carvings to make them smooth, the men carve the shapes out of various chunks of wood. And even the smallest of children are expected to watch and learn. Carvings of all sizes are for sale, and they appeal to a variety of tastes, from the smiling Buddhas to life-size mountain dwellers. Some objects, like these totem poles, are done by request. These wood carvers are truly artisans. They have an uncanny eye for proportion and detail. In each piece of wood, they find the hidden form and shape it into being. Baguio is also known for its mines, and out of some of those mines comes silver, which, in the silver shop, is made into jewelry. Some pieces are exquisitely made from small bits of silver then fired together. Other pieces of jewelry are made from molds. First, wax is injected into a rubber mold. The wax mold is then surrounded by a filler and fired. The wax melts and drips out of the casing. Then the silver is poured in and voila, jewelry is created. Of course, it takes these men hours of polishing and sanding before their work is done. Of course, with all this jewelry around, it was hard for me to resist, especially since the shop accepted credit cards. One of the winding roads that leads up to Baguio is the Marcos Highway, and it's got one feature that no other road in the world has. On the Marcos Highway is the world-famous Marcos bust. There has been some talk in the present administration on whether or not to tear it down, but for now it sits as it has for the past several years, a reflection of 20 years of rule and Marcos's monumental ego. The Marcos bust dominates the mountainside. Below, people live as they always have. Life in the country is slow. Most of the farmers make their living planting rice, and they still till their fields by using nothing more than a wooden plow and a trusty carabao. It's a simple lifestyle, yet the woven huts and the surrounding countryside reflect a life that has endured for ages. About 3 hours southwest of Baguio in the South China Sea are the 100 Islands. These islands are spread out over several miles, and tourists come here to be king of their own island, at least for a day. This time, in a somewhat larger canoe, we took off for several small islands in the distance. This is a busy bay with lots of motorized canoes carting tourists around and fishermen out for a day's catch. Each of the 100 islands has its own personality. On Governor's Island, you can rent out this air-conditioned cottage, the only one on the island, while the only other thing other islands have to offer is a beach, where tourists seek shelter from the sun after a day's swim. These mushroom-shaped coral islands bear a remarkable resemblance to the rock islands of Palau. And nature's work can be seen on Cathedral Island as waves have carved out a huge cave. Our canoe glided across the blue ocean, revealing the landscape of the 100 islands, each island an oasis in itself. We landed on Quezon Island's white beaches and began to explore. The island is named after a former president of the Philippines, and here you're supposed to relax, and that means anything from simply floating in the warm waters to contemplating your toes. So if you want to get away from it all in the Philippines, the 100 Islands are definitely the place to go.
At Ace Hardware, we carry a full line of quality Whirlpool appliances. And for a limited time only, Ace is having a Christmas special on 14 cubic foot refrigerators. Regularly $9.97, now $6.69. Whirlpool washer, large capacity, $55.80. Regularly $6.81, now $4.59. At all Ace Hardware locations.
And why do you use RCA?
Because they've got the lowest rates on Guam.
Because if he's not at home, I don't get charged for it.
The clarity in the calls, the quickness, the response.
Talking to my grandmother, it's like she's just right next to me.